On today's episode of the Denver Broncos Franchise, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go through 3 weeks of action today. Week 3 at home against the San Francisco 49ers, and then we're headed on the road for the first time this year. Week 4 headed to Arizona to face off against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, and then we head out east in Week 5 to face off against the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by Quinn Ewers and Najee Harris. The reason why I'm playing 3 games today is I mapped out kind of how I want to pace this series and the Kansas Dynasty through season number 3. And I think the best way to try to keep the series even with each other is to have a couple episodes in this series where we go through 3 games. Because an NFL season is quite a bit longer than a college season. Add in the prospect profiles that we're going to have throughout the year where there may only be 1 game per episode, and I feel like having a couple with 3 games might make the most sense. So sit back, relax, get comfortable, because we've got a lot to go through. To start the year in the last episode, we ended up splitting our first 2 games, winning a really exciting overtime matchup in Week 1 against the New England Patriots, and then dropping our second game in an ugly defensive game against the Kansas City Chiefs, losing 20-10 in a game where Bo Nix really did not play well. He was very inaccurate, did not do a good job under pressure, turned the ball over. So going into this game here against the Niners, they are 0-2. It feels like they're due for a win. You can't start 0-3 in the NFL. It's just pretty much a death sentence. They got hammered in their first game by the Commanders, a team who wasn't very good last year. And then they lost to the Rams in Week 2, another team who picked in the top 10. So they lost to 2 teams who were pretty bad last year. The Commanders game, they lost by 17. This Niners roster is no shortage of talent, though. They've still got Brock Purdy at quarterback. They ultimately decided to give him the big extension. They also drafted Taylon Green, the talented Tracy quarterback out of Arkansas in the 4th round. Christian McCaffrey still leads the backfield. They also have Kyle Monangai, the 4th rounder last year. No more Deebo Samuel. We saw him last week in New England. And they're also going to be without Brandon Ayuk, who is injured. They still have George Kittle, though, at tight end. And even though they've got some older players defensively, they still have some megastars on that side of the ball. Nick Bosa and Fred Warner are each still really good. So before I went into this game, I do want to point out that Patrick Surtain is now a 99 overall. Not even with the morale boost. He is just a full 99, which is pretty dope. Into Week 3 we go. The Niners really looking for a win here to basically salvage their season. The Broncos, meanwhile, looking to rebound after a not-so-good performance a week ago in the loss against the Chiefs. I guess it's kind of an advantage to start the year with 3 games at home. That way we can continue to not have to worry about travel or not have to worry to play on the road. So hopefully we can take advantage. On 3rd down, the screen by Nix is lofted into the ground. I don't even think he was hit. I just think that's about as bad of a throw as you'll see. Denver's going to keep the offense out on the field here on 4th and 2. A ballsy decision by head coach Simeon Bonnet, and they will go to the air. Nix goes short, and it's caught for a first down by Troy Franklin, and he goes down immediately. He wants nothing to do with Fred Warner. On 1st down, the edges collapse, and Nix is sacked. Jalen Phillips and Nick Bosa are both there with half a sack each. Phillips was acquired last year at the deadline by the Niners. Denver would make up for it on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and 3. This is Gavin Sawchuk, the rookie out of Oklahoma, and he does not get much. Wrapped up on the play by Dre Greenlaw. 4th and 2 at the 30. We've already converted on 4th down earlier this drive, and we're going to do it again. Sawchuk stays in at running back. Nix dances around in the pocket and is eventually sacked. Jalen Phillips brings him down again. A quick start here for Phillips, matched up with Andrew Thomas, the big acquisition at left tackle. And the Niners get their first drive of the game. 3rd and 3 at the 41. Purdy rolls out and throws it away. A good stop here by the defense, who did not look very good in Week 1 against New England. I thought played better despite the loss last week against Mahomes and the Chiefs. We didn't allow a touchdown until the final quarter of the game. 2nd and 9, Nix under pressure, dances around, on the run, wide open, it's Marvin Mims! Whoop! Tries to get by the safety, he cannot, but a huge gain for Mims. Bo Nix was under so much pressure there, I imagine the Niners had a full blitz there because they only had 1 safety downfield, and he clearly didn't see Marvin Mims with all that space to make the grab. What a play by Bo Nix. Play action on 2nd and 8. Under pressure again, and he is sacked for a 3rd time here in just the first quarter. Nick Bosa brings him down. I'm a little bit surprised by the great start from Bosa. This is not normally the quarterback that he would, dislike. Third down, it is hauled in by Mims. That is not an easy catch to make with Fred Warner coming in with a full head of steam. A quick start for Mims here in this first quarter. 3 catches, 81 yards. He's off to a great start, but there's no score. We've got a tough decision to make here on 4th and short. Of course, we did not convert second time around on the last drive, and I think this time we're just going to take the points. It's a 41-yarder for Will Lutz. His kick is nearly blocked, but it splits the uprights. Denver on the board first. They lead 3-0 as the Niners offense returns. They're hoping this drive ends up a little bit better than their last one. McCaffrey in motion, lines out as a receiver. Purdy looks to throw it. Down the seam, it's hauled in. Nice grab by Jacob Cowing, who will be starting at receiver opposite of Ricky Pearsall with the injury to Brendan Ayuk. 3rd and 10 at the 43. Down the seam again. Kittle with the first down. Hit hard by Riley Moss. Iowa on Iowa crime. But a nice play there by Kittle. From the 33, short pass is caught. It's the other tight end, Cameron Latu, who's wrapped up at the 17 by the rookie out of Stanford, Colin Wright. I didn't say his name a whole lot in the last episode, which for a corner, not necessarily a bad thing. Nice move by McCaffrey, wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. And the 49ers reach the end zone first. They lead 7-3. The linebackers did not do a good job there of keeping him covered towards the middle of the field. Offense back with it. Zamir White with a nice run. He's out of bounds. His first carry of the game goes for 20. You'll notice there's a new number on Zamir White. I switched some jersey numbers around. In the last episode, I got a comment about retired numbers here for the Broncos. As Genty with a nice run here on 2nd down brings it to the 29. So Denver saw the 49ers get the touchdown, and they have quickly looked to respond, as it's now 2nd and 6 at the 25, halfway through the second. Nick steps up, scrambles, runs for the first down, and is wrapped up at the 12. And, oh no, he looks to be in some pain. No? Okay, good. I think we dodged a bullet there. He's fine. 2nd and 5 now at the 7. Nix looks to throw it, under pressure, rolls out to the left, has space, and he is in for a Broncos touchdown. Bo Nix doing the wiggly worm in the end zone. My apologies, Bo Nix. I was not familiar with your game. One of the celebrations of all time by Bo Nix. I did not know he could get sturdy like that. And it's now 10-7 in favor of the Broncos. Niners back with it. McCaffrey up the middle with the first down. San Francisco looking to respond off of the score and impressive dance moves by Bo Nix. From the 43, 2.5 to go in the first half. Pearsall in the backfield, he loses 3. Cameron Hayward, the late free agent signing we made in the preseason. I think he's been a solid addition. Hasn't been flashy, but has been good as a run defender. 3rd and 13. Purdy hit as he throws incomplete. Baron Browning with the pressure. The 49ers are going to have to punt it away, and Denver gets it back at the 20. We'll see if Bo Nix can lead them down the field with a 2-minute drill to extend the lead. Is on first down. Sends it downfield. It's hauled in. Tez Johnson, the brotherly connection, gets 21. Genty with it. Bounces off a blocker. Gets a first down. Tries to get out of bounds to stop the clock, and he does. Unfortunately, though, Tez Johnson is limping. He'll have to go to the locker room. They're going to look at his knee, and he is not expected to return. So with that, we're going to have to see some other guys step up at receiver. Savion Williams, Christian Horn, and most certainly Chris Brazzell, the second rounder from Tennessee. As Nick slides for a first down to the 35-yard line. Both Savion Williams and Chris Brazzell were on the field that play. 2nd and 8, he is sacked. An impressive first half for Nick Bosa. He's matched up against a backup right tackle in Nick Gargiulo with Rasheed Walker injured. And Nix is going to throw it away here on 3rd and 18. So the drive stalls. We're going to have to punt it away. And the Niners are going to get it back, but with not great field position at the 7. A nice kick by Jake Camarda. Purdy on first down. Quick throw out to McCaffrey, and he is leveled. A big hit by Marvin Grant. That's Cooper with the pressure. The Niners don't have to run another play here. They can take it to the end of the half, but they will. McCaffrey breaks a tackle, but is going backwards and is tackled in the end zone. 2 hands for safety. Colin Wright, the rookie out of Stanford, is the one who is going to be credited for the safety and the 2 points to end the first half. I think Wright has looked the part in coverage, and now here he is in run support, bringing down McCaffrey in the end zone. Another reason why I liked him over the Clemson corner, Avion Terrell, is his ability in the run game as a tackler. As that wraps up the first half, 12-7. The Broncos up by 5 as the 49ers really mismanaged that situation at the end. They did not have to run another play. I don't know why they did. Let's take it into halftime as we're going to start things off in Los Angeles. The Raiders facing off against the Rams. Las Vegas 0-2 looking for a win. Our guy Jalen Daniels so far has struggled this year, but it seems like he's getting something going here early in SoFi. As this rushing touchdown by Daniels would be the only touchdown of the first half from either team. Las Vegas currently leads at 10-0. Daniels 9 of 11 so far, while Devin Neal and Jaden Higgins, the second-year receiver from Iowa State, have both been pretty solid. Let's head up to Orchard Park. The NFL's MVP from a year ago, Josh Allen, facing off against Jalen Milroe and the New York Jets. Allen off to a quick start as he connects with Keon Coleman for a score. The Bills on top of their in-state rivals 17-7 as Buffalo looks to make it 3-0. Allen off to a strong start this year. In this game, he's 9 of 10, although Jalen Milroe is playing pretty well too, and he looks improved here in his second season. In Baltimore earlier today, two of the best teams in the NFL, two of the best quarterbacks, if not the two best. But this is C.J. Donaldson, 6th-round running back out of West Virginia. What a run! Going backwards, then stiff-arming the defender. The Ravens drafted Le'Veon Moss, the running back from Texas A&M in the 3rd round, 80 overall. I really thought he was going to be their lead runner. But it's actually been Donaldson, who's been pretty productive so far this year. Baltimore with the win over Kansas City, 24-21. Both teams now 2-1 on the season, despite a huge game from both Mahomes and Rashee Rice. Hide your car keys, Baltimore. Rashee Rice is leading some drives. Into the 3rd quarter now, Denver looking strong, only 1 touchdown and 1 ridiculously awesome celebration. I like what I've seen from the defense, though. That's 2 weeks in a row, at least so far in this game, where we've looked good defensively. I think the offense has been solid. Bo Nix has been efficient, 8 of 11, and he's ran it well, but he's been under a lot of pressure. The offensive line has got to do a better job. And then defensively, since we're trailing, I imagine the Niners are really going to look to throw the ball here in the second half. 1st and 15 after a false start. Kittle in motion, play action. Here's Purdy under pressure, and he is sacked. Baron Browning brings him down, his 2nd of the year. We're hoping for more from the pass rush. This was our strength last year. So far this year, our pass rush hasn't been all that good. Nick Benito, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, is sackless through 2.5 games. On 3rd and 9, Purdy's pass is incomplete for Cowing. Good coverage there by Chris Abrams, draining the slot. So the Niners are going to punt it away. Another stop for the Broncos as they get it back on offense. Short throw, caught by Mims, keeps his footing, and fights for extra yardage to the 44. I really cannot say enough good things about Marvin Mims. He's turned into one of the best receivers in the NFL. It's a contract year for him, and he's making himself a lot of money. Troy Franklin with it on 3rd down with a nice play after the catch. He brings it to the 31. We haven't gotten the eye-popping stats from Nix, but he's playing a really good game today. Much better than last week's loss against Kansas City. As he looks downfield, this one is hauled in at the 12 by Savion Williams, the 2nd-year pro out of TCU, who had some big catches last year as a rookie. Up the middle, nice grab by Mims. Dre Greenlaw delivers the boom, but it's not going to stop Marvin Mims from coming down with it. 1st and goal, Genty tackled in the end zone for a touchdown, and the Broncos add to the lead. Ashton Genty with the score, and it is 19-7. That'll wrap up the 3rd quarter. We're in a pretty good spot here. The offense has moved the ball pretty efficiently, and obviously the defense has been fantastic. We'll see if we can keep it going here in the 4th quarter. Look to bring our record back above 500. The Niners on offense are going to have to really start playing with a sense of urgency. From the 26 here on 1st down, under 7 to go. Purdy goes short. It's caught by Kittle. Outruns Sanders and is wrapped up inside the 10 by Chris Abrams' drain. Nice play there by Kittle as it's now 2nd and goal at the 6. Time is ticking. The Niners got to move faster, I feel like. Play clock at 6. Latu in motion as McCaffrey is stuffed in the backfield for a loss. The big man, Jordan Davis, brings him down. And it's now 3rd and goal at the 9. Clock is continuing to tick. Now there's only 7 on the play clock. You're down by 12, not 2. Let's get a move on. Purdy looks to throw it, has all day. It's caught by Kittle, and he is just short. Good job by the defense to stop him shy of the end zone. Marvin Grant, the first-time team captain, leads the charge, and now it's 4th and goal at the 1. McCaffrey gets it, and he dives in for a score. And the 49ers are back on the board as it's 19-14. However, they used 8 minutes of clock on that drive as Denver gets it back, looking to take some time off and end this game for good. It was a successful drive by San Francisco in the sense that they scored, but for where they are in this game, you cannot afford to use 8 minutes. Genty, first play of the drive is a good one. Late stutter step, and he gets an early 11 yards. Now 2nd and 5 with around 3 minutes to go. Genty gets it back, and he loses 3. Jair Brown brings him down. Hey, that rhymed, and that delivers us to a pivotal 3rd and 8. We'll see if the Niner defense can clutch up and get a stop. Interesting decision with the play call upcoming for Denver, and they will look to throw it. Here is Nick, scrambles to the right, hoping somebody gets open. Down the field, Marvin Mims makes the catch! Marvin Mims does it again! Marvelous Marv to the 31. Now, unfortunately, he did go out of bounds there, which stops the clock, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. After a first down run of 6, that brings us to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line. Niners still have all 3 timeouts as Genty has it, breaks the initial tackle, but is wrapped up for a loss of a yard by the All-Pro and, in my opinion, future Hall of Famer Fred Warner. As Harold Fannin, the rookie tight end, is hurt. He's going to go to the bench. Not a serious injury, thank goodness. But we have to call the timeout there, which stops the clock, and the Niners get to hold on to all 3 of theirs. 3rd and 5, we'll go back to Genty. Breaks the tackle from Warner, and he is close. We've got a decision to make here on 4th and 1. If we were up by 6 or 7, I would kick the field goal, make it a 2-score game. But since a field goal keeps the lead at 8, we're going to go for it. It's up the middle with Genty. Trucks the defender, and he gets it to the 13. Ashton Genty clutches up, but he suffered an injury on that run. Again, luckily it's not serious. But we have to use another timeout there. If not for Genty and Fannin getting injured, the Niners would have burned all 3 of their timeouts and the game would be over. Here's Estime on 2nd and 8, breaks the tackle, and he waltzes in for a touchdown. If the first down marker was at like the 5-yard line, he would have dove down to end the game. But since the end zone and the first down marker were kind of close, he's just going to take it in for a score instead. An efficient game for Audric Estime. 1 carry, 11 yards, and 1 touchdown. So it's a 2-score lead. The Niners have 1 timeout and a minute and a half to go as we're looking at a 3rd and 10. Purdy looks to throw it, goes downfield, it's picked! Patrick Surtain with the exclamation point, and the Broncos are going to walk out of here with a win. Surtain only had 2 interceptions last year, but he's already got 2 through the first 3 weeks of this year. A nice win here for Denver, 26-14, your final score. A good showing on both sides of the ball. I thought offensively we did our thing. We ran the ball well. Bo Nix with a good game through the air. And then defensively, for the most part, a really solid showing. The run defense against McCaffrey was quite solid. I thought we did good in coverage as well. Surtain had a good game. Colin Wright with another good game. Not to mention, he had the safety as well. And of course, Bo Nix with the celebration of the year to help bring our Broncos up to 2-1. Only 205 yards today of offense for the 49ers. That is not a lot. We only had to throw the ball 19 times. Both teams moved the ball very slowly, very methodically. So we had under 50 plays of offense, as did they. 2 for 3 on 4th downs is certainly a big deal, as is 78% completion percentage through the air. And again, Nix did not have to throw the ball that often today, but he had some really nice throws. He was pushing it downfield. The chemistry that him and Marvin Mims have is spectacular. And then Brock Purdy, he was pretty mediocre. As for us, on the ground, Ashton Genty did good. Zamir White had a nice game. Bo Nix had some good runs, while McCaffrey was quite quiet. Through the air, Marvin Mims did his thing. Kittle had a good game. The receivers for the Niners, not great. Our tackle play was also not great, especially in the first half, but they bunkered down later. Nonetheless, Nick Bosa and Jalen Phillips were both really good. And then we only had 1 sack in this game. Benito was a ghost. Baron Browning was the one with the sack. But we need more from Benito. We need more from Mykel Williams, Jonathan Cooper. Our pass rush is not what it was from last year. Tez Johnson, knee cartilage tear, is going to miss the next 4 games. Certainly unfortunate. He's obviously a big piece of our offense. That means we're going to see a lot more of Sevion Williams and Chris Brazzell II upcoming. Neither of them were particularly impressive here in Week 3, so hopefully that changes. As here's a look at our scores across the NFL. As for your players of the week, Justin Fields with maybe the greatest quarterback stat line I've ever seen, along with Josh Allen, Tariq Woolen, and Zaire Franklin. So that's going to set us up with the 0-3 Cardinals. We've got a press conference to talk about our quarterback, Bo Nix. And I think it's been an up and down start. Week 1, he was solid. Week 2, he was pretty bad. And then this week, I thought he was quite good against the 49ers. Which of these has he done the best with? I would say avoiding turnovers. He's only thrown 1 interception so far this year. And apparently that's the wrong answer. I don't know how this is not like a yes or no question. There's no wrong answer to this. Why is Bo Nix upset? I complimented him. The other 3 options he hasn't done that well with. His completion percentage, his yards per attempt, and his sacks taken are all not that great. But he's only thrown 1 interception. I feel like that was quite literally the correct answer to the question. Anyway, after that EA disaster class, we look at the Cardinals, who are 0-3 so far, and as you can see by their team stats, they don't really do anything well. They're not really bad in one particular area, but they're just not a very good football team. Kyler Murray had a great second half of the year last year, led them to a playoff spot. They still drafted Drew Aller in the second round, though. I'm curious to see if he gets a shot. They've got a good group of skill position guys with Trey Benson, Marvin Harrison Jr., our good friend Luke Grimm, Trey McBride, and the former Bronco Jaleel McLaughlin. The defense has some talent, and the offensive line is quite good, headlined by the first-round rookie guard from Alabama, Jaden Roberts. But I guess this team doesn't really just mesh well together. Kyler Murray is a very talented player, but he hasn't always been able to put all the pieces together. And then defensively, here in year 4 of Jonathan Gannon, they're still kind of struggling. I think Gannon kind of saved his job with the surprise playoff run last year, but through 3 games, things are not looking good for him. Nice grab, though, here on this play by Marvin Harrison Jr. to the 39. Not great coverage there by Colin Wright. He went to play for the ball, which is something he doesn't normally do, and it ultimately backfires. 3rd and 7 at the 23. Kyler under pressure, and he is sacked on the play. Mikel Williams brings him down. It's a loss of around 15, and that could take them out of field goal range. That is not the sack you want to take if you're Kyler Murray. At the very least, just throw the ball away. So now it's a 54-yarder, far from a gimme, for another one of our good friends, Cameron Dicker, the kicker, and it is no good. Wide to the left, and the Cardinals are held scoreless here in their opening possession as we take a look at the Broncos' first road game of the year, going with the all-white uniform combo from the 44. It's Troy Franklin. He's going to outrun the defender. There he goes down the sideline. Stiff arms the safety. A huge gain, though, for Franklin. He gets 37 yards, bringing it all the way to the 17. 3rd and 7. Nix up the middle. He's got Jonnu Smith, who brings it to the 1 despite tight coverage. Nice grab there by Smith, and we'll see if Denver can punch it in. 1st and goal at the 1. They'll go with Genty, and he is in for a touchdown. The Broncos strike on the opening drive. Ashton Genty with the score, and it's 7-0 Denver. So a good start here in our opening road game. Defense gets a stop. Offense marches down the field with a score. We'll see if we can keep it going on drive number 2 as Kyler is sacked again. Baron Browning with his 3rd sack of the year. He was not alone, though, in the backfield. Pressure from Bossa, Cooper, and Benito as well. And it's now 3rd and 15. Kyler looks to throw it. Looking downfield for Marvin Harrison, and it's broken up by Moss. He had a step or two there on Surtain. Marv is not known as a burner, but if Moss wasn't there to make a play, Harrison could have taken that for a big one. Screen for the rookie, Chris Brazzell, and he loses 2. A nice play there by the Arizona defense. That'll make it a 3rd and 12. Nix looks to throw it, goes short. It's caught by Franklin, who ends up with a 1st down. A nice play there by Franklin, who continues his really good start to this game, as it's now 3rd down and 1 at the 17 with a minute to go in the first quarter. Handoff to the left side. Genty will not get the 1st down. Nice tackle there by Arizona. The play made there by the young linebacker, Smael Mondon Jr., drafted in the 2nd round out of Georgia a couple years ago, as it's 4th and inches. You know what we're going to do. Offense stays on the field, and Genty will barely get it. That was close. Nice play there by the defensive tackle, Tyleik Williams, in his 2nd year out of Ohio State. Final play of the first quarter. Nix under pressure, and he is sacked for a loss of 12. Zaven Collins brings him down. That'll wrap up the first. 7-0 lead. Good start for the Broncos, although that last play is certainly not ideal. The Cardinals do have a lot of talent on this defensive line, headlined by Deion Walker, the second overall pick a couple years ago out of Kentucky. Not on the field on this play. As on 3rd and 17, it's caught. That's Brazel, who does not get the first down. He's wrapped up there by Garrett Williams. And the Broncos, after all that, are going to settle with a field goal. It's a chip shot, 26-yarder for Lutz, and that one goes through. So the Broncos lead 10-0. Cardinals back with it. They've got it at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 here for Arizona. This is Trey Benson, the talented young running back out of Florida State, who's really developed well for this team. They've got a fun tandem with him and Jaleel McLaughlin, the former Bronco, who we traded away in the season 1 offseason. As McLaughlin gets it, nice run. He ends up with the first down. And it seems like Arizona's really starting to get something here, but now it's a 3rd and 9 from the 44. McLaughlin remains in the backfield. Here is Murray. Scrambles with it, looking to run for the first down, and he does not get it. Chris Abrams' drain brings him down. A really nice tackle there. Arizona would elect to punt the ball after the long missed kick on the opening drive by Dicker. Denver back with it. Genty tries to break the tackle, but he loses yardage. Zaven Collins leads the way. He's got some words after the play with Jonnu Smith, and so that'll make it a 3rd and 4 from the 11. Nix looks to throw, rolls out to the right, under pressure, tries to send it up for Franklin, who makes the play to the 25. A really nice throw and catch by Nix and Franklin that unfortunately will not count. Holding call against Andrew Thomas. He continues his inconsistencies here in the early part of this season, as it's now a 3rd and 9, all the way backed up at the 6. Still going to look to throw it. Nix goes short. It's caught by Zamir White. He gets a few. Not enough for a first down. Another holding call. This time it is on Ben Powers, the left guard. The Cardinals are going to decline the penalty, and we would ultimately punt it away. Arizona has it back, 3rd and 4. Kyler Murray under pressure, and he is sacked. The big boy, Jordan Davis, brings him down, and Arizona's going to have to punt it away. I really like what we've gotten out of Jordan Davis so far this year. He has played quite well. Broncos back with it at the 21. Nick scrambles to the right, tries to send it up, and it's intercepted. Budda Baker picks it off. That was not the play there. Bo had to throw it away. He tried to force it into tight coverage. And Budda Baker, the talented safety, one of the best in the league, makes a nice play on the ball. We'll see if the Cardinals can take advantage of the turnover. As on 1st and goal, Kyler scrambles, and he is in for a score. So the interception turned touchdown has put the Cardinals right back in the game. They get some momentum. They cut the lead down to 3. As Kyler meditates in the end zone, and we've got ourselves a ball game. 2nd and 3. Ashton Genty loses 4. Nice play there by Jeff Okudah, former number 3 overall pick of the Lions. Still sad it didn't work out. And now it's 3rd and 7 at around the 50. Denver's taking their time off of the no huddle now, as Nix looks to throw it. Under pressure, hit as he throws incomplete. The Cardinals are there with the stop. Smael Mondon Jr. with the pressure, but with a good punt by Jake Camarda, the Cardinals do not have good field position. 2nd and 5, caught by McBride, and Denver calls a timeout here. An interesting decision. They really believe in their defense to not only get a stop here on 3rd and 2, but to get good field position off of the stop. Risky choice, though. Kyler under pressure, and he is sacked in the end zone. It's another safety, and look who it is with the sack. It's Colin Wright, his 2nd safety in as many weeks. And Denver is back on the board. It's 12-7. So Colin Wright now has 2 safeties today, and we've got a chance to score. Nix floats it up. It's caught by Brazel, who is wrapped up at the 21-yard line, completely uncovered there. Broken play defensively. 3rd and 4. We're down to 10 seconds and no timeouts. Risky to throw it here. Nix is going to send it for the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Chris Brazel climbs the ladder, and the Broncos are back on the board. Talk about a first career touchdown for the rookie Brazel, using all 6'5" of his frame to moss Budda Baker, who made a really nice play on the ball, but Brazel's just a little too big. Risky throw to make in that spot by Bo Nix, but he trusted the size of his receiver to come down with a play, and boy does he. What a drive by both Bo Nix and Chris Brazzell, showing why we drafted him in the second round. 19-7 your score at halftime. 9 points for the Broncos over the last minute to completely flip the game on its head. As we take a look at our halftime report around the rest of the league, we will start in Las Vegas. The Raiders were up 10-0 at halftime last week. They were outscored 24-0 the rest of the way, and things are not looking much better here. Keon Coleman and the Bills lead this game 28-7. Coleman has 6 catches for 183 yards and 3 touchdowns in just the first half. I think we made the right choice with Colin Wright over Avion Terrell. I don't even know if Terrell's the guy covering him. I just have agendas to push. Nonetheless, the Bills look really good again. Josh Allen looks really good again. And the Raiders, they are a disaster. Let's head down to Los Angeles. Couple of NFC West rivals face off against each other. And while our Kansas quarterback, Jalen Daniels, has not gotten off to a great start this season, Avery Johnson has looked the part for Seattle. He's thrown 2 touchdowns in this game, including that one you just saw to Jackson Smith and Jigba. 20-10, Seattle leads over the Rams. And we'll get to see the Seahawks in the next episode, I believe in Week 6. And then we will stay in SoFi. Apparently, these games are going on at the same time, which does not make much sense because SoFi is one stadium. I'm not going to try to figure it out. Vlad McConkey with the score here for the Chargers. They're doing a little bit better than the Rams are. They lead this game 17-7. So how does it work? Like, one game gets a drive and then the 2 teams switch out? I need an explanation. This does not really make much sense, but okay, we're going to roll with it. Into the second half now, I feel really good about how we've played. The only touchdown from the Cardinals came off of the really good field position, off of the interception by Nix, who otherwise has played a good half. That last touchdown pass was awfully ballsy, though, but a really nice catch by Chris Brazzell. I think we need to focus more on running the ball. For one thing, we're winning, and we're probably going to run it quite a bit here in the second half. But we really did not run the ball well in the first half. Ashton Genty struggled. Their defensive line was really the only positive for them. And then defensively, we're winning, so we're going to have to stop the pass, since that's probably what they're going to be doing a lot of. We are going to start with the ball, though. 3rd and 8. Nix up the middle. Misfires. That one is behind his intended target, Chris Brazzell, who, of course, made the big plays on the last drive. Cardinals back with it. If they want to get something going, they should probably start now, and that's not how you do it. Trey Benson loses a couple. Riley Moss brings him down, continuing to adjust and playing fairly well at his new position of free safety. 2nd and 12 at the 23. Kyler steps up in the pocket, looks to scramble with it, runs for the first down, and he brings it to the 42-yard line. A nice play there by Kyler to keep the chains moving for the Cardinals. 3rd and 11 with 7 to go in the third. Murray under pressure from Benito. That one is broken up by Colin Wright, who continues to impress. This is not your ordinary rookie, and so far I'm really enjoying the pairing with him and Surtain. We have one of the better corner duos in the league already, and the goal is that we eventually will have the best in the league. Here's Zamir White with a big run. He gets 23 yards. And on a day where Ashton Genty has not been very effective, Zamir White has actually played quite well. I've been really impressed with Zamir White so far this year. I don't know how he was just in free agency last year for us to pick up. Here's Jonnu Smith, wrapped up by Budda Baker at the 47-yard line. A good drive here in the third quarter here for the Broncos with roughly 5 and change to play. 3rd and 4, floats it up for Mims, and he gets it to the 19. I will say Marvin Mims has been kind of quiet today. I think Max Melton has done a really good job with him. That's really been the only negative of this game. At the goal line, 1st and goal. Nix is sacked on the play. He is wrapped up by Tyleik Williams, who brings Denver back to the 7. 2nd and goal here for the Broncos. Nix goes back to the air, looks short. It's Brazzell, and he is tackled for a touchdown. Talk about a first impression for Chris Brazzell. In his first start of his career, he has scored twice. We didn't get much out of him through the first 3 weeks of the year, but it has been a real coming out party for the second rounder out of Tennessee. Arizona back with it. Benson loses yardage. Colin Wright brings him down. Wright never played in the slot during his time at Stanford, and he isn't here, but he's making a lot of plays in the backfield. He seems to be really instinctive in terms of where the ball is in the run game, which I wasn't even really expecting when we drafted him. 2nd and 10, nice run for Benson as he gets the first down to the 40. He's had a couple nice runs, all things considered. Kyler under pressure from Benito and friends, looks to scramble with it, and he will get the first down on 3rd and 9 with a big hit late by Surtain. And Kyler's got some words with Benito, a couple of former Oklahoma guys. Tensions are flying here in Arizona, mainly for the Cardinals because, well, they're not particularly good. They're 0-3. They're down by 3 scores going into the fourth quarter. Yeah, it is a rough season so far for Arizona, and barring some crazy comeback, it looks like they're going to drop to 0-4. As on 3rd and 1, Benson does not get it. We've got a flag. Marvin Grant and Jonah Ellis were both there. And we've got a decision to make here. It's a holding on Arizona. Do we decline the penalty or accept it? Ultimately, I think we're going to take the yardage here instead of the downs. I trust our defense to get a stop here on 3rd and 11. And sure enough, we do. That's Nick Bonitto with the pressure. So the trust in the defense pays off. And instead of a 4th and 2, it's now 4th and 11, where the Cardinals still have to go for it anyway. Kyler looks to throw it. Under pressure, scrambles with it, and he will dump it off, and it's incomplete, broken up by Marvin Grant. Nobody was opening up downfield. The coverage continues to be really good. So from there, we would chew clock for about 7 minutes. We would kick a field goal, and that's how this game would end. 29-7. Really, really strong win here on the road. I get the Cardinals are not a very good team, but no win is easy in the NFL, especially one on the road. So with that, we are now 3-1. I thought the offense had a pretty good day, but to me, the story is on the defensive side of the ball. That's now 3 consecutive weeks where we have been awesome defensively. Over our last 3 games, we've allowed 10, 14, and 7 points. The numbers, again, are not crazy for Bo Nix, but I thought he played really well. Minus the interception, he was accurate, pushed the ball downfield, got it to our playmakers. Kyler only completed 50% of his passes. Neither team ran the ball well, except for, I guess, Kyler Murray and Zamir White. Chris Brazzell was really good, though. Led us in catches, yards, and, of course, touchdowns in a game where Marvin Mims was kind of quiet for his standards. Marvin Harrison and Luke Grimm were also quiet. The corners had them in hell. And then defensively, I thought the pass rush was a lot better. 3 tackles for loss for Colin Wright. He had a sack along with Davis, Browning, and Williams. Still none from Nick Bonitto through 4 games, although I thought he did a much better job of sending pressure today. So overall, a good win. Nobody's injured. Nice day in the office for the Broncos, but don't forget, we've still got another game in this episode, a big one upcoming against the Steelers, who, as you'll see here, demolished the Bucs by over 30. They're now 3-1, so that's going to be a big matchup for us on the road. Here are the rest of your scores. The most interesting thing here to me is the Lions are 0-4. Again, they were 0-4 last year and made the playoffs, so you can't really rule them out, but 0-4 is not good. Players of the week, Kenneth Walker, Josh Allen again, Pete Werner, and Hassan Reddick. That'll bring us into Week 5. Easily our biggest game of the year so far. 3-1 Broncos, 3-1 Steelers at Heinz Field. I'm not calling it by the new name. It will always be Heinz Field. The Steelers have been one of the best teams in the NFL this year, plain and simple. They have a top, I think, 2 scoring offense and the number 3 scoring defense. They're getting a lot of points, and they're not allowing too many. They've had some really strong wins this year. They beat Baltimore on the road, blew out the Dolphins, lost to the Eagles, but then got back to business, blowing out the Buccaneers. This Steelers team knows how to win football games, plain and simple. That's what they do. They have Quinn Ewers at quarterback, who had a solid rookie season, led them to a playoff spot, and so far he's really built upon it here in his second season. He's off to a great start this year with a passer rating of 120 through 4 games. Certainly an interesting QB room with him, Mac Jones, and Dylan Gabriel. Although the real star of the show is this guy, Najee Harris, who has developed into a legitimate superstar. Over the last couple of years, he's maybe been the best running back in the NFL. This year he's averaging over 6 yards a carry. And in games where he's actually gotten the ball a lot, the Steelers' offense has been really effective. George Pickens leads the receiver room with Roman Wilson, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Pat Freiermuth. And as always, the Steelers obviously have plenty of talent on defense. We know about TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick and Alex Highsmith. But I want to look at their improved cornerback room. They've done a really good job adding talent there. Joey Porter Jr. has developed very nicely. They signed Brandon Stevens, and he turns into a Pro Bowler. Christian Benford's a really good player. They drafted Matthew McDoom in the 5th round out of Georgia. He's already an 80 overall. He looks like a real steal. I am curious about what this team's ceiling is, though. Ewers only has normal development, so I wonder how far he can take them. But it's been a good year so far for the Steelers, and a big test for both of these teams, as Jonnu Smith is stopped there by Matthew McDoom. Had a strong season last year at Georgia, the transfer from Coastal Carolina. Steelers with it early, and there's the first sack of the year for Nick Bonitto. The Sooner brings down the Longhorn. It took us 4 weeks for the Defensive Player of the Year to get a sack, but he finally does it here on the first defensive play of the game against the Steelers. 3rd and 15. Ewers rolls to the right, looks short, it is caught. That is the tight end, Pat Freiermuth, and he only gets around 3. Michael Williams, shaken up on the play, suffers a minor shoulder injury. I don't think it's anything we're going to have to worry about long term, but he's not going to return, and that's a big deal. He's obviously one of our best defensive players. Had a sack last week in the win against the Cardinals. 3rd and 7 from the 47 for the Broncos, hoping drive number 2 is a little better than the first, but that one is incomplete. The pass is low for Brazel, coming off his huge performance against Arizona. Very nice punt by Camarda to pin them back deep at the 3 as Harris loses a yard. Jordan Davis continuing his really impressive year with the TFL. 3rd and 9, they're going to go back to the ground, and Najee Harris is going backwards again. I think that was Marvin Grant who led the way. Chris Abrams-Drain, Jeffrey Bossa, Pat Surtain, all there. 3 carries, -1 yards on that drive for Najee Harris. It's going to be a real tough test for him against one of the best run defenses in the NFL. There's Jonnu Smith bringing it to the 29. Denver looking to take advantage of the good field position. We started this drive past the 50. As we now have it at the 14. Genty with it to the outside, and he is losing yardage. Wrapped up on the play by number 92, Josiah Stewart. Second-year pro out of Michigan. 3rd and 11. Here is Nick. Scrambles to the left. On the run. Looking for the back of the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Christian Horn with the score. His first of the year. I think that might be his first catch of the year. And the Broncos strike first here in the Steel City. It's now 7-0. The booth would take another look at this one. But ultimately, Christian Horn does get 2 feet in. A really nice throw by Nix. Really nice catch and route and footwork by Horn, the second-year pro from Appalachian State. 3rd and 2. Najee Harris does not get it. Drew Sanders brings him down. And so far, the battle between this great Steelers run game and this great Denver's run defense, it has been domination by our front unit. We are shutting down one of, if not, the NFL's best running back right now. 7-0 lead for the Broncos going into the second. So far, we're looking good against one of the better teams with one of the better home field environments in the league. To start the second, 3rd and 9, Nix floats it up, and it's caught! That's Marvin Mims with the first down. Nix was under a lot of pressure there. Not an easy throw to make, but he delivers. 3rd and inches, Nix up the middle, back for Mims, weaving through defenders, and he is gone! 37 yards to the crib. That was a choice route for Marvin Mims. He saw all the space towards the middle of the field, and he figures he's going to take it, and he outruns everybody. One of the most dangerous receivers in the NFL with the ball in his hands. It's now 14-0 in favor of the Broncos. Steelers back with it, 2nd and 10. Play action, here's Ewers under pressure. Nearly sacked by Benito, and he somehow gets it to Roman Wilson. That was a good play there by Benito, but he's got to finish the job and get the sack. 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh at the 40. They're moving it pretty well this drive as it's big Pat Freiermuth who gets 19. And so Pittsburgh is finally getting something going. The offense was a disaster in the first quarter, looking a lot better here in the second as they have it near the red zone at the 21-yard line. They still haven't been able to run the ball yet. Play action under pressure. He is sacked. Jordan Davis brings him down. Jordan Davis has broken out onto the scene these last 3 weeks. I cannot remember a time he's played this well. 3rd and 2, after a nice play on 2nd down, Najee Harris does not get it, and guess who it was with the tackle? Jordan Davis. 4th and 1, the Steelers are going to go for it, as Ewers looks to throw it. Quick pass is caught for a touchdown. George Pickens with the score. He makes a nice cut off of the rookie, Colin Wright, and it's 14-7. We cannot expect perfection from Colin Wright. After all, he is a rookie. It takes a while for rookie corners. Maybe not a while for him, but you cannot expect every play to be a good one. Genty on 1st down loses 2. Ashton Genty really did not have a great game last week, and he hasn't been all that effective today. Patrick Queen brings him down. 3rd and 7. Nix looking short. Brazel with a nice catch, but he only gains 6. Christian Benford brings him down, one of the more underrated corners in the NFL. That was really good coverage. I'm impressed that Nix made that throw. Steelers back with it off of the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 8. Ewers is sacked again. Nick Benito with his 2nd of the ball game. This is the defensive player of the year that we got from him last season. Took him a month, but it looks like he's finally showed up. Denver back with it. They'll get a 2-minute drill drive of their own now, starting at the 44. Nix looks to throw. It goes short for Genty. Tries to get out of bounds, and he cannot. Not to mention he loses a yard. Benford brings him down. 2nd and 11. Nix is sacked. Keanu Benton was there, along with the former Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, one of the best in the business. 3rd and 16. We will go to the air. It is Harold Fannin who makes a nice play after the catch. 3rd-round rookie out of Bowling Green gets 12. The Steelers get the stop, though. Take a look at Bo Nix's numbers. He's had another really good game, and that's going to wrap up the first half. The Steelers did not call a timeout off of that catch by Fanning. They did not have faith in their offense. That's how well we have played it, not just today, but over the last month on the defensive side of the ball. We really do have one of the league's best defensive units, a complete far cry from what we saw in year one, which was one of the worst defenses in the NFL. The Chiefs and the Bills, our first game together today. Two of the best teams in the league. Again, two of, if not the very best quarterbacks. Nice throw by Josh Allen to our good friend Greg Dortch, the Torch. Bills lead it 14-10. The Bills are 4-0. The Chiefs are 3-1. If the Chiefs were to lose this game and we win, we would pass them in the division, and we're going to get to see them again in Arrowhead in 2 weeks, in Week 7. The Jaguars headed down to Nashville, facing off against the Titans with their rookie quarterback, Alex Orji, who's having a really good game today, including this touchdown to the tight end, Chig Okonkwo. The Titans currently upsetting Jacksonville 21-7. And I think the Titans are really happy with their selection of Alex Orji. And as I've talked about throughout this series, I think it's only a matter of time until this Titans team becomes a problem. They have drafted really well over the last couple of years, and I think Orji is going to end up being a big hit for them. The Panthers facing off against New Orleans, a couple of NFC South foes. This has been a low-scoring game. We're currently tied at 7, headlined by this touchdown by another former Kansas receiver. We saw Luke Grimm earlier today. Here's Lawrence Arnold with the touchdown for the Saints. A tight one here between Carolina and New Orleans, two talented young quarterbacks with Bryce Young and Carson Beck. The Saints really need a win. They cannot afford to go to 1-4. Both of those teams really trying to climb that division with Atlanta, Michael Penix, and Trayshawn Holden leading the way for the Falcons. As we go in the second half, Bo Nix has been really good in the intermediate part of the field for a second week in a row. The short game has been questionable, but the run game's been even more questionable. And then defensively, got to focus on stopping the pass as once again, we find ourselves up. 3rd and 10, Ewers lobs it deep. It's tipped off of Surtain's head and incomplete. Not a great opening drive to start the third quarter for the Steelers. Quinn Ewers goes 0 for 3, and they're going to have to punt it away. Denver has it from the 36-yard line. Bo Nix with it to start the drive on first down. Looks to throw it under some pressure, scrambles to the left, going to look to run with it, and a big run for Bo Nix. His first carry of the game goes for around 16 yards, and that'll keep the chains moving for the Broncos. Following play here with a man in motion, that is Troy Franklin, as it's Zamir White with it, and he is going backwards for a loss of 3. TJ Watt is the one who finishes him off. Shaheem Brown, the rookie out of Florida State, was the one with the initial hit. 3rd and 9. Nix looks to throw it under pressure. Fakes out at the sack somehow. Play is still alive. Gets by another defender. Floats it up, and it's incomplete for Mims. That might be the greatest incompletion I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to lie. Denver's going to have to punt it away. Steelers back with it. 4 to go in the third. Not a lot of scoring overall in this game, as Ewers throws it away on 3rd and 10. It's been another defensive battle, and our defense is continuing to live up to the mark against one of the NFL's highest-scoring offenses. Nix floats it up on 2nd down. It's Franklin to the 18. That was a free down. We recognized that we could look downfield. The Steelers sent the blitz. They did not have any safeties back deep. Everybody was in man coverage. Franklin gets enough separation to open up. But on 3rd and 1, we don't get the first down. That's Brazel who gets nothing. And look at this. The offense is going to stay on the field after the big tackle by Amani Hooker, as it's Genty with it to the outside. Gets the first. Tries to hurdle the defender. I think he jumped a little bit too early. Hooker's able to bring him down, but Ashton Genty does get the first down. Now 2nd and goal. Play action. Nix scrambles on the run. He's got his man. Harold Fannin Jr. with his first career touchdown, and the Denver Broncos add to the lead. 21-7. A nice throw there by Bo Nix. His third passing touchdown of the game. He only had 4 through the first 4 weeks of the year, albeit he had some rushing scores in there as well. 21-7 going into the fourth, two of the AFC's better teams, and we have certainly outplayed the Steelers so far. Still got another quarter to go. 2nd and 10, nice throw up the middle. That's Wan'Dale Robinson. He's had a pretty quiet game. Chris Abrams-Drain has done a good job with him today. Abrams-Drain has had a really strong season. We're talking about these two outside corners a lot, but he's been really good as well, as Roman Wilson is wide open up the middle. That was not very good coverage by Patrick Surtain. And Roman Wilson gets a big gain. Nearing the red zone, 2nd and 4. Najee Harris with it. That was a horrible read. Did you guys see all that space up the middle of the offensive line? He could have gotten like 10. Instead, he loses 2. And guess who it is with the TFL? It's Colin Wright, who has more tackles for loss than pretty much every great defensive lineman in the NFL. Najee does get the conversion on 3rd and 6, so they're going to go back to him. It pays off. They are going to have James Daniels hurt on the play, though. Not ideal. They've already lost their right tackle, Troy Fatanu, as Najee Harris walks it in, and the Steelers might be back in it. And what's been a disappointing day for Najee Harris, those last couple of runs are big. Keeps the Steelers in the ballgame. As it's 21-14 with around 6 to go, we'll see if Denver can look to make it a 2-score lead. Genty on 1st down. That was the wrong hole, and he loses 3, wrapped up by Amani Hooker. These are two really talented running backs, and neither of them have gotten anything going for the most part today. 3rd and 9. Nix under pressure, and he is sacked. TJ turned down for Watts. Nick Gargiulo, starting in place of Rasheed Walker, really has faced the gauntlet today. He has seen Nick Bosa and TJ Watt. Not great. Speaking of not great, Najee Harris loses 3. Jonah Ellis, the first to hit him. Jonathan Cooper finishes off the play. As it's now 2nd and 13 with 4 minutes to go. Down by 7, it's intercepted! Patrick Surtain, his 3rd of the year, him and Ewers collide into each other. A big play, though, by Surtain. The Steelers had a chance on that drive to tie the game, but Quinn Ewers ultimately chokes it away with the turnover, and Surtain has surpassed his interception total from last year, and we're only in week 5. Next, on the run, he's got Mims. Mims breaks a tackle, and he gets it all the way to the 5, a gain of nearly 30. 7 catches for 117 yards and a touchdown. Normal day in the office for Marvin Mims. And now it's 2nd and goal at the 1. Looking to put some icing on the cake as Nix, QB, sneaks it in for his 4th all-purpose touchdown of the afternoon. Do you guys believe? Well, you should, because Bo Nix has played 3 really good games today, likely to result in 3 wins, barring a miracle. 3rd and 8, Ewers tangled up. He's sacked by Nick Benito. 0 sacks through the first 4 weeks, but he's got 3 today, doing the LeBron celebration, and now it's 4th and 18. Ewers is going to have to float it up, and he's picked off again. Marvin Grant with the interception. I think this might be the first of his NFL career. I don't believe he had one last year, as he is tackled out of bounds by Najee Harris. But Nick Benito is injured. That's really unfortunate. This was supposed to be good vibes. We just won the game. Luckily, he's not going to go to the locker room, though he should be fine. Steelers would actually get another chance with the ball, but another chance for Ewers to be sacked. Baron Browning now with 4 this year. 4th and 13. The last hope officially for the Steelers as it's broken up by Chris Abrams-Drain. And that's going to do it. The Denver Broncos go 3-0 in today's episode. How about that? We're now 4-1. We beat the Steelers 28-14. And we've got to talk about this defense. I really feel like we have something special with this unit. The pass rush has been good the last couple of weeks, but not as good as it was last year. But it hasn't really mattered. The Steelers as a team ran for less than 3 yards per carry. The run defense has been fantastic. And then the coverage. Last week, Kyler Murray only completed 50% of his passes. This week, Quinn Ewers completed less. The cover guys have been outstanding, as is Bo Nix. 26-35, 245, and 3 scores. While Quinn Ewers was really unimpressive. Najee Harris was really unimpressive. We've got to get more on the ground, though. Ashton Genty, like Najee Harris, did not have a very efficient game. And Genty wasn't too good last week. Barely averaging 4 yards a carry this year. Marvin Mims stood out through the air. Nobody else really all that impressive on either side. And then defensively, again, these guys are playing outstanding football. This really is one of the best defenses in the NFL. Everybody's producing for us. The pass rush has been up and down. Not as good as it was last year, but still overall playing well. As I mentioned, the secondary, Surtain, Wright, Abrams-Drain, the safeties, those guys are balling. And then the linebackers. Drew Sanders is having a nice year. Jeffrey Bossa's really improved. I know he's a safety, but Marvin Grant, I feel like, has really taken some strides this year. The Chiefs and Chargers lost, which puts us in first place in the division. The Lions are 0-5. They lose to the winless Patriots. Players of the week, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, who won in all 3 games today. What are the odds of that? Along with Big Sexy Dexy and Jordan Birch, the former number 1 pick, leads the NFL in sacks. He has turned out to be a superstar for New England. Next episode, we've got Seattle coming to town. We've got our first prospect profile of the year. We're going to cover the quarterbacks in this year's draft. And as I said, I want to get through seasons faster, so we might end up doing 2 games in the next episode. If we do, we'll be traveling to Arrowhead for Week 7, a huge matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Let me know what you thought of the 3-game format down below in the comments. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Broncos Country, let it ride.